Good evening. Welcome back to the LolCow Ranch. Sorry about the abrupt start just now, but hey, uh, we're gonna get right to it. And really briefly, I'm gonna keep this stream short because I want to go through James Robert Clark's community tab because he's still not. Yeah, it is breeding time, Spider McGee, and I know I'm kind of overlapping on Nightwave, and I'm sorry about that, but there's a lot of thoughts and there's some good stuff that I want to get out of my head because if I don't do it now, and if I go to sleep, I'm gonna probably lose like 25% of my anger, just in sleeping, maybe more. And then when I wake up, I have to remember my anger. So it really kind of pisses me off that I have to remember being angry at either James or Mary. So, hi, Auntie Green. Welcome. And yes, I turned the latency low, so it should be a lot faster response time now for when you send chats and stuff. And yeah, let's go into James's community tab here. He has still been very silent on his videos, which is surprising. I mean, usually, from his history, he will go video, 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 and now it's like he's just gone silent. So, have we scared James back into the lolcow pen that he's in, or has he just simply run out of data and he doesn't have enough data for this? I'm thinking he's running out of data. James, I will burn through however many data plans you use. Okay, you're probably sitting at home watching this right now live. Hi, James, and you're thinking to yourself, "Man, I just want to respond to this." I know you do. And as soon as you get that data plan re-upped, you're gonna be like, video, 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 video. Oh, Randolph Vance made this video. Oh, Randolph Vance made that video. Oh, Randolph Vance said this, and oh, Randolph Vance said that. You're just gonna be wasting all your data plans just bitching about me. It's gonna be lovely. So, while you still have no new videos, let's take a look at your community tab. 27 minutes ago, Buenas noches, mi poquita princesa. James is still not learning on that. Dislike. There's a hidden Bible the Catholic Church tried to hide. Okay, James, you're trying to play against Eliana's Catholicism now, and you're trying to create a divide between her and her religion with you as that divide. So that's not going to work. Great Schism, the bitter rivalry between Greek and Latin. Again, you're playing into Catholicism fears with her, so you're trying to make her scared of Catholicism. Shared 1 hour ago. Remember this, Trumpers. Fauci and Trump are supportive of one another. Also remember, Trump could have fired Fauci at any second and chose not to. Well, James, there would have been a really bad public perception if, in the middle of a brutal pandemic, the president, then President Trump, were to fire uh, Anthony Fauci. So, James, it's all about image in politics. And while Trump may have wanted nothing more than to fire Dr. Fauci, he couldn't. Because, Dr. Fauci was the smartest man in the room at that time. Basically, he's the man in the Roland Emmerich, Dean Devlin movies who, kind of sits in the corner, doesn't say anything until he's at that key scene where, Mr. President, we need to do this right now. And everybody's all against it. But Fauci's dead set certain that this is the right course of action. Now, am I going to say that that's the right course of action or not? Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. He's sharing a Now This News clip, and I have a really kind of horrible disdain for any kind of news organizations that have, just words like "now this" or "read me" or something like that. Just aggregate news sites at that point, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Fauci's mask. Yeah. James Robert Clark III shared 1 hour ago. Every effing time. Donna's Paul, me looking back at the ATM afterwards to make sure. Go back to the home screen. James Robert Clark, 1 hour ago. Happy holidays, my symposium. Okay, so you're appealing to Eliana's intellectual aspects again, and that's not working either. And now you've resorted back to your vulgarities, so you're posting clips from Family Guy of Quagmire. Hey, how's it going? I think we have a newbie has just joined our Discord. Hey, ASDSS, how are you this evening? Hey, ASDSS, I can hear you. I did turn the latency down, so hopefully you can hear me now. I think I do see him. I do see him in the voice chat. So he's we'll hear from him in a little bit on that. So in the meantime, I'm still gonna kind of parse through his community tab, and I want to take a look at his Telegram account. If does anybody have a link to where I can take a look at his Telegram account? Throw it in the chat, please, because I want to see if I can look at his Telegram account and if it's safe for me to look at his Telegram account. And I may have to throw that up in a new tab, which I'm going to keep off because I may have to like kind of pre-screen that. But in the meantime, sharing from Ushanka Show, mail delivery to the Soviet Grandpa Frost. It looks like some Fallout. Looks like Jangles the Moon Monkey almost. And Mr. Mittens, I think. Okay, so evolution and medicine. He's trying to appeal again to intellectual Eliana. If you don't know how to take back what you did, it's easy. We just start over when I come down and pretend like none of this craziness ever happened. James, I'm glad I'm reading out your community tab because it's almost like I'm making a video of you as you. So we just start over when I come down and pretend like none of this craziness ever happened. I will forgive anything and everything because your friendship is worth it to me, heart. James, stop doing that to yourself. It's not good for you. 3 hours ago, mi Paquita princesa es muy bonita, heart. No. And James is now back to sing Mary, and he's throwing some teasers of videos that we'll see later on today. Why no charges? James Robert Clark sharing American Dad. That's his avatar, Black Richard. Throwing up more emojis. Oh, God. This is the most heartbreaking of them all. James, why did you try to appeal to Eliana on this really kind of... All right. 5 hours ago, you're back to reminiscing about Pink Floyd The Wall, live in Berlin. You obviously can't get enough of Pink Floyd The Wall. It seems to be what if you can't use your data plan for posting your videos, you probably have like a DVD of Pink Floyd The Wall that you've got on some kind of DVD player, and you're just watching The Wall over and over and over again. James, get another DVD, okay? Stop watching Pink Floyd The Wall. It's a good movie, yes, but stop watching Pink Floyd The Wall. I just wanted to make sure I was live. I didn't want to make sure anybody was shouting boomer at me or anything like that. But, yeah. Shared 5 hours ago. Ooh la la. Okay, so he's now back to martial arts mode. Posting someone who looks reasonably like Eliana with the hair and the body figure. And Weird Al Yankovic, white and nerdy. Okay, so you're trying to appeal to Eliana by saying, hey, I know that you're beautiful and you're perfect, And I'm not. I'm just white and nerdy. Here's a song about me. Yeah, that doesn't work either, James. Buenos tardes, mi poquita princesa, also my siesta time, heart. James, if you somehow do make it down to Argentina, your siesta time, it is going to be a siesta time for you, but, it's going to be a permanent siesta. And we'll all be like, dude, we could have stopped you from this. Could I do better than my friend in Argentina? Oh, this is 13 hours ago. At this point, I'd say yes, due to the extremely high level of treachery on her part against me. However, I choose to give her the benefit of the doubt. Our past was good, our present is poor, though the present has been visited by much interference from interlopers. My presumption is that she's still the same sweet girl I remember, and if she isn't, I'll be more than capable of banging any number of Argentinian women. There you go, James. Perfect. That is the perfect post today in your community tab. That is the number one post of the day. And he's throwing up more emojis. And this photo, when I saw this earlier, I figured out your fetish, James. Here, let me mute this for a second. Didn't want you to hear me coughing. I figured out your fetish, James. I've been noticing how in most of your community tab photos, you like to photos of women with their legs spread as wide as possible to show that open access to what's downstairs for them. So that's your fetish. I mean, I can understand that. Because for me, mine is seeing a girl who has their finger to their mouth, kind of like, just kind of being coy. Hmm. But James, you know what? To each their own. I'm not going to judge you for that fetish, but maybe just a little. Okay. Il is pronounced as the English Y in Spanish. I thought I'd explain this to the trolls that keep misspelling my friend's name. Please stop, it's getting ridiculous. Please, at the very least, spell her name correctly. I find it offensive because, well, let's face it, none of you are remotely equal to her in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, that is just. Hi, Maureen. Come on into the Discord if you'd like. Oh, let me pop that one out. Sorry about this. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. But James, we're just going to go through more and more of your community tab. Okay. Buenos dias, mi poquita princesa. You just love keep saying good day to her. And I think we're back. No, 15 hours ago. So that's roughly. While in Argentina, Eliana Morales is likely unaware of this. Okay, so I think you're posting screenshots of comments that are angry at you for this. And Jod Empowered is saying you can do better, James. Way better if it's true. You 4 replies. I think, yeah, you might be right, but I choose to give her the benefit of the doubt. James. Jod replied back to you. You are clinging on to hope in the name of love. I get that. Don't let yourself down, though. Look, I am not Jod Empowered. Okay, I never come at you with sock accounts, James. If you see me posting, it's always under the name Randolph Vance. Okay, I'm never going to use a sock account with you, James. That I promise. Okay, so whoever Jod Empowered is, that is not me. I can guarantee you on this. Okay, so James Robert Clark III, aside from the fact Bono is an absolute prick, this song comes to mind. Okay, can't play that because that's going to be yeetable. John Empowered, lol, yes, Bono betrayed the Irish on behalf of foreigners. James, once again, your racism is showing. But at this point, this is what we've come to expect out of you, James. Oh, you were really busy on your community tab, so Back to the best of Tyrone Bigham's Chappelle Show. Can't go down there. Page down. You're still obsessing. She was moving to LA, now it's England. This story has more holes in it than cheesecloth. Also, moving to England for an Argentinian is literally hearsay, her words, not mine. If thus is true, she's a total sellout to herself, her people, and her beliefs. Why? Because of a war over bat guano, James? Come on, get real. And I wouldn't want anything to do with such a treacherous person anyway, though I strongly doubt any of this is even remotely true. Also, these aren't threats, you half-wits. I promised to see my friend years ago and will make good on that promise. James, you don't have to keep every promise that you make. Some promises you have to break because you just can't keep them. Some promises you can't keep because you're not going to be able to keep them, okay? Or you won't keep them. All right, so meanwhile in Argentina, God damn it, now you got me talking like you, James. Ileana Morales, blissfully unaware of all this, she's weeks away from getting married and starting a new life in England. Poor James. By March, Ellie will have a new name and a new country. So much for threats to visit Buenos Aires. And Okay, so we're back to where, we were yesterday, how Hitler, Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin spent Christmas. Okay, so that was where we left off yesterday, and we will mark our place for your community tab as the best of Tyrone Bigham's. Okay, and hi, Bobcat, are you going to help me? Hi there. Thank you, bud. You going to help me with this? You going to help me put on my show? I appreciate that, buddy. I love you so much. You're a good boy. You're a good kitty. We're going to go to our VLC really quick. And we're going to get into our Adrasdea videos because she has been busy too. She made 5 new videos. 6, but I'm not going to count a Let's Play of her playing an SNES game because that's what I said. That's the kind of normal videos I want her to be making because that way she's not out there, making others feel uncomfortable, making herself feel uncomfortable. So, okay, open folder. And desktop. Address.
Good evening.
Good evening, ASDSS. How are
you guys
you?
doing?
I'm doing good. Bobcat says hi. How have you been? Yeah.
But okay, I was just catching up on James' community tab, and I was actually watching Adrasdea's videos, which I thought were interesting, and then it put me down the rabbit hole into a YouTube channel called Aunt Kathy's Story Time, which was
Yeah.
a very interesting
Now,
channel.
Aunt Kathy, if it's okay with you, I might like to play like 1 or 2 of your videos to see if Mary, that way she can't tune us out. The more Aunt Kathy's videos get played, the more the more the message gets out, and Mary can't block it. So, but if it's okay with you, Aunt Kathy, I want to see if maybe I could play a video later on for that you might want to recommend. If you have a video, Aunt Kathy, that you recommend, throw it in the chat, and I can play it for you. And Auntie Green Bobcat is so helpful. Yes, he is. He's like Louie. And Mersh, I am so sorry that I called him Lloyd. I don't know why I did that because I've major depression and I have like memory issues. So for me somehow I transposed Louie with Brad Jones' cat Lloyd, and it's only because Louis is so lovable himself, just like Bobcat. And yeah,
So I was
Mary's
talking.
quite the rabbit hole, isn't she?
He is. So I was talking to Eliana today,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked her. I said, when did you realize for you when you just were not going to be friends with this guy anymore? And she said it was way sooner than he's thinking. She said the day he was sending me Polynesian, like women dressed in Polynesian garbs and, fetishized Incan
Yep.
princess things and saying, this is what I think about you wearing when we meet. She said that's when I realized he was
Yeah,
a creep, and that's when I realized it was time to just cut him off and disappear.
yeah.
And that was long before the videos. That was long before the YouTube channel. So, I mean, in her mind, she defriended him a long, long time ago. Um, and
It.
I don't think that the world's heard the last of Ileana, in her own words, on a show somewhere
Oh,
sometime soon.
I'm thinking that pretty soon Eliana will be on the Dr. Phil show. I'd love to see Eliana on Dr. Phil remotely via polycam web chat, of course.
And I think it's annoying to her that she thinks that, you know, that he thinks that the reason this is all going on now is that she's, just a stupid, confused, autistic person and she has no free will or mind of her own. So it wouldn't surprise me if she shows up sometime soon.
uh,
Maybe even with her fiance. Who knows?
Maureen asked if you are familiar with Mary's history with Roberta Laws.
Yes. So I started digging around and started trying to look for,
Hmm.
court filings, case filings, and what's interesting in Mary's recent video, when she's talking about why no charges, um, what's the biggest plot twist that could happen in the Mary story is that requested the case file herself, right? Because she can. If she
Hmm.
was involved, she probably could get a full copy of everything, all the evidentiary stuff, as long as the case is closed and there's no active investigation. And she posted that there might be a whole ton of people on the internet that'll feel slightly bad about the accusations they made against her. And she's not wrong in the sense that, the whisper down the lane kind of scenario in some regards. So, do I think she does some things that are a bit manipulative? Sure. Do I think that some of the stuff that she does is bred out of this notion that it's the world's job to take care of her? And, the Aunt Kathy freak out videos were really telling because she said, no one will believe me. No one will support me. No one will help me, over and over and over again. Where it's just saying, like, now I have to put in the effort to fend for myself, and now I have to put in work. And I just won't do it. Can't do it. And now I'm going to be forced to. But she figured out her way,
Hmm.
She figured out how to navigate the world, and it doesn't seem like it's impacting her as much. And now she just got kind of that, hey guys, go fuck yourselves attitude again. So
Yeah, that's a
I think she just wants to be. I think she just wants to be taken care of the rest of her life, and the government will be more than happy to take care of her for the rest of her life now. So
yeah. She
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 kind of got her wish.
she doesn't have the looks or the appeal to get like a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. Hi, Maureen. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I think I did wrench you, so yeah, you're automatically wrenched. So I didn't have to pull you into
Yep,
the. No, you were already wrenched and ready to go. Yeah,
I'm special.
that's right. I made all the good
No,
ones
I'm
get the
not.
wrenches here. Yes. Uh, but Mary has been quite busy today, and one video she made extra sure to give a shout out to us. Oh, um, yeah. I'm just gonna go right into the first Mary
Oh
video.
wait,
Oh, go
wait,
ahead.
Vance! Before you go into it,
Yeah.
can we real quickly talk about James's newest potential fixation?
Oh,
The cult
sure,
the occultist with the PhD.
sure. Yeah, we could do that. Give me.
James, she's the one, James. She's the one. She's the one, James.
I think yeah.
If you're gonna fall in love, James, that's the one. That is the person you're looking for. I think you finally got it right. She's got the accent you like. She kind of sounds like Ileana, even though I don't think she's in South American at all. And she's got the dark hair. She loves Satan, all about the paganism and the Wiccan stuff. Celebrates the solstice.
Oh,
Intelligent. Her videos are quite intelligent, although the topics aren't, not my cup of tea per se. But she's well spoken. I think that she probably, triggered some arousal on an intellectual level for you, James. I think that she's the one, man. I think she's the one. I think you should drop Ileana like a ton of bricks and pursue that one because that seems more your route.
exactly. I think.
Because I'm telling you, you're gonna get hurt if you go to Argentina. Like that is not gonna end in the Disney way you anticipate. I
There
can
it
tell you
is.
from the
That's
horse's mouth.
that's what he's fixated on now is Angela's symposium. So,
Yep, that's the one. And you know what? Good for him.
mm-hmm.
Um, as far as the kicking and the leg spreading thing, I think it's just the one that arouses him because it's like martial arts and something that he's one of his restricted range of interest. But the higher the leg, the more you're able to receive the seed. So, because the breeding idea is also a very high fetish for him. So I can see how those two things, commingle
Nothing getting in
in his
between.
mind.
Yeah.
Well, the more your leg is spread, the more welcoming you are to procreation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in his mind probably why he has a fixation on that particular pose.
And this is definitely. Ooh. Oh, I can see why James is fixated on her now. Hmm. Do you think she can see auras?
Maybe.
I wonder if she could see James's aura. I wonder what it would look like.
Uh,
Oh God.
uh, she's
Black.
she's communing with all kinds of shit. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that we'll see if she'll commune with you, James.
Oh yeah. She'll definitely see something in you, James. So I'm gonna get back to the VLC screen here. Nice little fade transitions. I learn more and more about Streamlabs OBS every day now. James, thank you for inspiring me to do this. So, meanwhile, let's take a look at Eliana. Or, Eliana. God damn it, James! Oh, God, the mindset. Oh, I'm sorry
James,
about it.
Angela will be your perfect high priestess that you've been looking for.
Yeah, I think that, the uh, spirits are definitely calling for you and Angela to get together, James. Eliana wants you to, be happy, so just not with her. Uh, so Adrasdea posts her first video of the day. Why no charges?
So, I saw in my comments somebody was asking if the district attorney didn't charge any didn't file any charges, and the detectives didn't file any charges, and nobody filed any charges against this woman after a complete investigation. Why did so many people online believe she's a murderer?
Oh, because of a little thing called the public record, Mary.
Evidence.
News
Your own
stories.
fucking words. Things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. News articles, Mary. If I go to Mary Barone and search on Google, Roberta Laws, and probably come up under news. No, probably gotta put that under quotation marks here. Mary Barone, Roberta Laws. I'll search for that later. Meantime, let's go into the video here.
The
You might try
reason
Kenneth McBride. I think that will bring it up more first.
Yeah, Kenneth McBride. That's what I should search
That'll
for.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do this, the reason they believe this is because they believe they have done a better investigation than the detectives did. They believe that by
Yes,
going off
actually.
of
Yeah, I mean, because we're going off the public record, Mary.
Yep. And as I explained to her 2 Saturdays ago, when she really was listening, Mary, there were 3 reasons why there were no charges brought against you. A combination of police incompetence, law enforcement corruption, and the prosecution had, because of your lies and craziness, the prosecution had to choose between putting Ken away for life and having you walk free, or having both of you go free. They chose to have at least one of you put away for life. It was better than nothing.
It was.
There was no way they were going to be able to convict you.
Oh, and I found the news article here for Kenneth McBride. So McBride gets life for gruesome murder. News for you. Okay. I'll put this up on the Google transition here. Just a sec. There we go. Back to this. There we go. Ooh, a coupon available. Grab it now.
Like, coupons have become
wait, Memorial. No. That wasn't what I wanted. No. Oh, do I have it on some kind of pop-up blocker? No, wait a minute. I gotta turn off my pop-up blocker for that. Kenneth McBride. There we go. There's the story. Okay, so Kenny McBride. Oh, they're Kenny McBride, like they're calling him like Kenny Powers. Kenny McBride, the courtroom yelling obscenities Thursday morning. Did you think I was just going to go peacefully? He screamed. During a sentencing hearing Thursday, Monroe County Circuit Judge Michael A. Weipert ordered McBride to serve the rest of his life in prison for the murder of Cecilia Nikki Gibson. Wait, is that the right one? Wait.
That's the wrong.
Wait. How many Kenneth McBrides are there that are murderers? How many Kenneth McBride?
Ken McBride, Roberta Laws, Jacksonville, Florida.
That is okay, yeah, because that was August 2021. I'm like, what?
Apparently a lot.
Apparently, God did not break the Kenneth McBride mold when He made this.
Kenneth, you gotta Google Kenneth McBride, Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, Jacksonville. There we go. Man admits guilt in ex-girlfriend's killing. That sounds like it. Yep, Roberta Laws. There we go.
Yep.
That is so fucking funny that there's another...
I don't recall him swearing.
That there are 2 Kenneth McBrides and they're both murdered. Man admits guilt in ex-girlfriend's killing.
Through those documents and find these combs.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kenny McBrides out there just murdering people.
What are they, like defective robots from Westworld or something like that? They're like Yul Brynner. They come at you with like a cowboy hat and they just never stop.
I am never.
Oh, Clay County, Florida.
I'm never befriending anyone named Kenny McBride. I know that after doing my research.
Note to any people who might be watching this who have the last name McBride: do not name your children Kenneth. Okay, it appears to be a cursed name. So, Clay County, Florida, a registered sexual predator pleaded guilty to first-degree murder Thursday as the jury was deliberating his fate. Kenneth McBride, the right one this time, admitted to strangling his ex-girlfriend Roberta Laws and burying her in a shallow grave in February 2009. Laws had cerebral palsy and had to use a wheelchair to get around. Investigators found her body buried in the backyard of her house. They didn't even try to hide her. That's what it's even more callous about, is they just planted her like a garden, like a vegetable in the garden. So prosecutors...
Yeah. Also, part of that is that the water table in Florida is very high, so you can't get down like a full 6 feet.
Ooh. So I bet, yeah.
So that was part of that.
I bet
That's
it
also,
attracted like animals and stuff like that.
yeah.
Oh.
And part of the reason why we suspect Mary went to the police to begin with was, despite her claims in her little book, they lived in a normal residential neighborhood. So the houses weren't far apart, but they weren't close together, if that makes sense. Maybe 50 to 100 feet apart
Yeah.
along the side boundaries. And this happened the end of February. So on March 31st, when she went to the police, it's Florida. It's starting to get warm. Roberta is starting to smell. Mary only went to the police to save her own ass.
Yeah.
Because
Because
if she had just waited for the neighbors to call, they both were going to get arrested and they both were going to get sent away.
that was one body, and that was Florida. Because if it was Chicago, they could have probably kept her body hidden like indefinitely in like a crawl space, like Gacy or something like that. So,
Yeah. I
but
fucking hate to say it. Because of Roberta not having any close family in Florida, in Chicago, they probably could have. I hate saying this because Roberta seemed like such a lovely woman. They could have disposed of her like in an alley, and nobody would have been like they would have found her eventually, but
yeah,
she could possibly have gone unidentified, never been traced back to the two of them, and she would have been buried in a potter's field, and that hurts to say.
If I had to guess, just based on what I've read and what Mary has said, Kenny made the mistake of probably threatening Mary with the notion of, there's emails about us plotting this. You're going to go away too.
mm-hmm.
And he assumed that would buy her silence. What he didn't expect was the level of Mary's dysfunction of, of running and basically, narking on herself.
Yeah.
And what would happen. And had he have, really fought against the notion of saying, hey, look, she was involved in this too. And I'm surprised his defense attorney didn't try to pin it forth about, who really was responsible.
If the laptop hadn't been destroyed, they would have.
Well, see,
yeah.
I've always had questions about that, and Jeff has brought it up a bunch of times too. They were looking on her hard drive for emails between the two. How come the police never looked on Kenneth's devices as well? If Kenneth didn't have any personal devices was using, say, a work computer or something, why didn't they go to his job? Why didn't they contact the email providers to see if they had them saved on their servers? It's like they just focused it on Mary's laptop and that was it.
Yeah,
They never made the extra effort, because even in 2009, you could pull them off of servers.
Well, the bigger question is he's saying that they were communicating, right? But he's a registered sex offender, and most registered sex offenders are, not everyone, but many are not permitted to have like computers or electronic devices, right? So I'm not saying that's one of his terms of his, Megan's Law, release or whatever you want to call it.
He could be using like the library access or something like that. So
yeah, that's why I question about why they never contacted Mary's email server provider. But the other thing is, Ken was convicted in 1996, so the whole Megan's Law thing, the whole computer thing, those laws may not have been
retroactive
when he was released.
Oh no,
yeah.
they can be. It's called pre-SORA. So some people, depending on the category, can be what they call pre-SORA SVPs.
Oh, he's bad. So you're probably right. Probably didn't have access to one because he was convicted of attempted sexual contact with a minor under the age of 12.
Yeah, and if they made a big deal about that in court, then the question would come up is, why the hell did his probation officer not know that he had access to electronic devices? And then it would have got really hairy in court. And then whoever the victim of the child under 12 was, they might have the ability to sue, or they might have the ability to just raise a whole lot of hell about the failings of the probation parole system.
It's
And look, you have this. This was a very complicated and potentially political case, and I think that it was. Well, we're going to throw the book at him. We're going to take the death penalty off the table. We're going to give him life. He's confessed. He's not going to appeal. Doesn't seem like he has since then. I think he's just kind of accepted
No.
it.
Well,
And we're going to let her go.
he ended up pleading out.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So I didn't think you could appeal if you pled guilty.
No, you can't. You waive your right to appeals if you plead guilty. So,
somebody can always argue diminished capacity.
Unless it can be argued that you were deceived into pleading guilty, which I don't think anybody's gonna say Kenneth was deceived into that. He knew pretty much. I think if he had
to like the very end, like the jury had just gone out to deliberate when he said, "I changed my mind."
He may have looked at his options and realized that he could have gone free, and that meant that he was back with Adrasdea again. And he's like, you know what? Me and Adrasdea, we're out there starving. We're out there, begging for money for food, and we're out there just like not eating. I'd rather have 3 hot meals and a place to stay. So I'll plead guilty. So I think Kenneth looked at it from a purely standpoint of covering his own ass, because he knew that if he went free with Mary, they're just going to be back out on the street, living the life of pure poverty. It's a thought. Okay, prosecutors say McBride's new live-in girlfriend, Mary. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Back up a little bit here. Laws had cerebral palsy and had to use a wheelchair to get around. Investigators found her body buried in the backyard of her house. Prosecutors say that McBride placed Law's body in a hole he dug the night before he killed her. I wonder what the backstory was that they were telling Roberta, because she had to have noticed that they were digging a hole. She had to have noticed.
That's actually inaccurate. They didn't dig the hole until after she was dead because they didn't have a shovel. They're on CCTV in Walmart after they killed her.
After, of course.
After he killed her, and allegedly Mary helped buying the shovel.
Do you think that this was part of how the police will withhold some parts of the story because they know that the killers know the real facts on that?
Possibly. When was this published?
February 10th, 2011.
This is right in the middle of the trial, right at the tail end of it.
Yeah.
So at this point, a lot of the evidence had already been out, but journalists make mistakes, as we all know. So
that's true.
The only thing that's believable in her behavior is when she says that he made her go buy the shovel. Is I can't see her willingly spending money on anything that she doesn't want.
Well, he had to convince her that this was a necessary thing, or he had to convince her, bitch, we're buying the shovel, or I'm, burying you next to Roberta, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think I just can't imagine her spending money and going and buying something that doesn't benefit her personally.
She may have been the only one who had the money. So
it's also possible this is the only way we have of disposing of her. I hate saying these words because she seemed like such a lovely woman. Of moving Roberta's body to a place where she wouldn't be found easily or right away.
Now, prosecutors say McBride's new live-in girlfriend told investigators about the killing 5 weeks after it happened. They say she told them she was threatened with her life if she spoke about the killing. She told investigators she was eventually able to sneak out of the house and walk to a gas station, where a clerk gave her a ride to St. Johns County to talk with investigators. Wouldn't you think that if she was actually being held hostage that she would have gone to a hospital first? Because if she's being held hostage, she's probably suffering malnutrition, she's suffering from minor dehydration, she's probably got bed sores. Mary just did not think at all about this.
No. Well, here's the thing. She claimed she was also tied to the bed for a good portion of those 5 weeks,
Hmm.
and that Kenneth repeatedly raped her.
Rope burns,
She does
Mary.
not. She does not, and that's all in her book.
Hmm.
Not a peep of that to the cop.
Yeah,
She
and
never said that.
wouldn't we have heard like a story from like a hospital emergency room where they were treating her for rope burns on her wrists from where she was bound all the time?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
they would have been those abrasions would have been healing, but would have been obvious, and the police would have asked. They would have taken pictures. They
Hmm.
would have been calling for an ambulance while they were talking to her. But she none of she never went to a hospital. No pictures of these alleged wounds exist because they were never taken because the wounds never existed.
And even if it's not rope burns, let's say that it was something like an electrical cord. It's
Or zip
still
ties
or zip
or
ties. It's gonna
handcuffs,
leave
something.
impressions in the
Yes,
skin.
she would have had marks, and she didn't.
Hmm.
So, like,
Exactly.
when JJ Stoner read the book aloud on his channel, actually around this time last year, after we had already found her, after we knew what a piece of human trash she is, and we're like, murder, what? Well, that explains so much, but we didn't believe a word of her story. Now, this is just me and me alone. I got her middle name confused, so I honestly thought, like, she was in a relationship with a married man,
Hmm.
or a man with a fiance, saw this article in the newspaper, and Mary sued her way into it and imposed herself in the story, even though that story had nothing to do with her, to make herself look like a victim. I was
Yeah.
wrong, but like, 'cause she has that kind of personality, and she's admitted to making things up and saying that the actions of the heroine in her favorite books actually happened to her. So
Yeah. I have a copy of her quote unquote book, so
yeah,
we
when we
could
say
take like
book,
little
we mean
skims of it here. Uh,
yeah.
Testimony in the trial ended Wednesday, and the jury heard closing arguments Thursday morning and had been deliberating just a few minutes when McBride and his lawyer advised the judge he wanted to admit his guilt. There was no plea deal. The jury will return next week for the penalty phase of the trial. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Well, we all know how that turned out for Kenneth. So,
Yeah.
going back, let's go back to Adrasdea here. BLC. There we go. All right, and we'll take a
The
look.
girl that Ken was convicted of assaulting was 8 years old.
And Kenneth was allowed to breathe oxygen after that.
Yeah, and he didn't get a very long sentence either. That's
Yeah.
And Mary was 24 at the time she met him. This all happened.
yeah.
The public
I don't
record.
know if you've
Go ahead.
I know very quickly. ASD. Aunt Kathy has shared photos of Mary with the group, with the class, and at the time she would wear her hair in pigtails. I stopped wearing my hair in pigtails when I was like 5. So
Meemaw probably had her putting mayonnaise in her hair way back then too. So
yeah.
Here you go. Put this Dukes in your hair, Mary. It'll make your hair come out better. Okay. So.
And their months of terrorizing me for reactions.
Months of terrorizing. I've only just begun with a month's worth.
Yeah.
So, but I'm free to do, a lot more videos, Mary. Just keep on making these and I'll keep on reacting. So
They have concluded something important.
yes, the important thing we concluded is you are a liar. You are a grifter. That's what we've concluded, Mary. So
They have come up with something that the judges and the lawyers and all that never saw, never understood.
Yeah, we see through, what they were trying to avoid, that because they were more focused on Kenneth at that time. Yeah. So,
Spelled it out last week, Mary. Pay
mhm.
attention.
Yeah.
You stopped hearing what you want to hear.
Oh yeah.
Only using half the story. Now, if they were looking at the entire story, they would likely come up with the same results that the district attorney came up with. They're not looking at the entire story.
Not yet, but we can. We'll get our hands on the full story, Mary. So, don't you worry about that. So,
They're looking at what's in the public record.
that's right, Mary. We're looking at what's in the public record. And that's exactly what we're judging you on. What's in the public record. That's why it's called the public record, Mary.
And
And
there's
Florida has wonderful sunshine laws.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, Mary, you seem to think that the public record can be debated just because you don't agree with it. The public record is there because, the facts were proven. Okay?
a lot of the case that is not in the public record because it was withheld from the jury.
You're confusing the fact that Kenneth basically, pulled out at the last second, and he knew that a jury might actually, God forbid, find him innocent and then have to sentence him back to life with you, Mary. So that's
He was
he.
probably ready, or he was ready to part ways with her, and he was worried he was gonna be next.
Yeah.
I'm safer behind bars. I'm safer behind bars. Even if they kill me, I'm safer behind bars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the fact that she was pregnant. Like the fact
She was
that
not pregnant.
She was not.
She
Okay.
was not pregnant. They autopsied her, and that would have been in the public record. Sorry, Mary, you're a dumb bitch.
There you go. Yeah, she's trying to invent something that makes it seem like she knows something about the case that wasn't told in the media. So Roberta Laws was pregnant in Mary's
Plus,
mind, of course.
yeah. Plus, Roberta was also in her mid-40s when she was killed. I think she was 46
Mm-hmm.
with cerebral palsy. Odds are, it's very possible she was already starting to go through menopause and was not able to get pregnant at that point.
She may have already had like a hysterectomy or something.
Yeah, who knows? And with the complications, like from what I've read, her cerebral palsy wasn't as advanced as little Ronnie's, Mary's brother. But who knows? For all we know, she could have been infertile from the cerebral palsy. I don't know. I just pulled that assumption out of thin air. Do not take me don't take that as gospel. But it's very, at 46, even a healthy woman, chances are she couldn't have gotten pregnant.
Yeah.
Well,
Mary's an idiot.
the other interesting thing about Mary is that it doesn't seem like Ken was ever charged with kidnapping or unlawful confinement. So if she was tied to the bed, they would attack those charges on too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the charges weren't there. So if they weren't there, then there is no record of them even initially charging him with preliminary sentence or preliminary hearings or anything like that. So it's not like the charges were there and they threw him out because we don't have enough evidence and this person really isn't trustworthy. They
Yeah.
didn't even bother. They didn't even bother to throw those charges in the beginning and then toss them out later. So
Because the police didn't believe Mary at that time. They're looking at her and they're seeing and they're hearing her stories about being held hostage, being tied to a bed, and they're looking at her body and they see no physical marks of abuse. And they realize something about her story doesn't make sense, and she's confessing to a murder. So they're going to treat her more like a suspect than the victim. So
That's the other thing she goes in. She goes, I was a witness, and all the paperwork, I was a witness. Yeah, honey, they call, like, if you read the first paragraph, they refer to you as witness to differentiate you from Ken and Roberta.
mhm.
If you were being a suspect, they would have put you as suspect, but it's No, not even. It's just to differentiate you from Ken and Roberta. It's legalese. It had nothing to do with whether or not you were a suspect. And honey, guess what? Every single person who comes forward with I witnessed a murder, or I found, grandma's great aunt Judith's body in the dining room, they always investigate the person reporting or the person who found the deceased as a potential suspect until they can rule them out.
Yeah,
In my amateur opinion, they couldn't 100% rule you out, but they couldn't exactly charge you either, because then the case against Ken would have fallen apart.
exactly. Yeah, that they knew that Mary's story could change at the drop of a hat, and they were
Oh, yeah.
probably going by all the police reports where she just says one thing and then just contradicts herself in almost like the next
Oh, yeah.
paragraph. So the police made their choice, and they said, you know what, given the two, it's easier to go after Kenneth because Mary is such a mixed bag that conviction is not guaranteed with her.
Yeah.
So, but
And given I don't like saying this because it shows what our justice system can be.
mhm.
Well, he's already a convicted sex offender. It'll be easier to convict him because people hate pedos.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and right now the mentality is a jury will convict a man rather than they would a woman. And they'll believe a
Yep.
woman even if she's not necessarily telling the 100% truth, but she's just trying to, tell the truth that gets her out of trouble. So,
I guess I'm the odd person out, because if she had been on the stand and was testifying, I would have been like, I would have questioned how come she isn't being charged. And if she had been charged as well, I would have voted to convict her. Like,
mhm.
just
It's
she did
it's
some. She smells, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, but think about it like this: the body that had been rotting in the backyard for 5 weeks was finally smelling worse than Mary. So the neighbors were like, "Oh God, something smells worse than Mary now." So it's like the moment that Mary's like fishy odor just suddenly went away, and there's just like the smell of death.
Yeah. It's like, we don't have pets. They don't have pets. The people on the other side lost their dog a year ago.
Hmm.
What the hell? Wait a minute. We haven't seen Roberta in a while.
Yeah, Mary. You don't watch Columbo episodes, do you? Oh God. Anyway.
It created a fake identity in order to date me to begin with. There's a lot. There's a lot. And with
His fake identity to date you has nothing to do with the fucking case.
No.
So,
No.
nice try.
Yeah,
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, she's trying to divert. She's trying to, throw attention away from herself again. So, nice try, Mary.
with me, like my
He
life.
allegedly told her, for those of you who are new to Mary lore, allegedly told her that he was a millionaire and did vigilante work at night like Batman, and she bought it hook, line, and sinker. But they were always living in hotels.
That's the title of one of her later videos is Beware the Millionaire Stalker. James, why are you pretending you're Batman?
I was busy being an adult today, Mary, so I didn't watch any of your videos. So this is all new to me.
I was busy being an adult today too. I had 8 hours of customer service hell that I had to put myself through.
Yeah. God bless you. I had to do intermittent customer service when I worked at a relocation company.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I mean, some of the stories I could tell, but that's for another time.
Oh, customer service jobs are hell for people who have mental health issues, and because there's some customers that just love to push those buttons. They see those buttons, and they know which buttons to push in you, and they want to get you angry. And there were some today that just were wanting to get me angry, but I held my cool. And it's like I held a firm tone of voice, but I was like the parents like, look. I'm scolding my 6-year-old child on this, and look, this is how it's going to be. I can't guarantee a cancellation. I can't guarantee it's not going to go out. So you called a little too late for this. So
Yeah.
people will scream at you. Yeah.
Yeah, I took a phone call once, and the guy was screaming and swearing and calling me horrid names right off the bat because at almost everything he got for his relocation is taxable. That at the time that was the IRS
Yeah.
code. It's all taxable. That's the law. He had parted ways with his employer over like 2 or 3 months after he moved, and hadn't returned the funds to the employer yet. So, or his former employer, so now he's pissed because he has to pay taxes on it. I can't go into more detail on air about how it ended, but just it took all of my self-control not to scream back at him, to watch his tone with me.
Yeah.
I didn't do this. This is the law. Calm down.
Exactly.
Be an American and pay your taxes.
Yeah, for real. I mean, that's how they busted Al Capone. He didn't pay his taxes. They couldn't get Al Capone for any of the other shit he did, but they could get him for the fact that he wasn't paying his taxes.
Has become a giant game of telephone, right? I told the story. Somebody else picked it
You
up.
told a lie.
You told the story as a lie. We corrected it with the truth, and we've been keeping the corrected true version in play, and you keep playing the lie cards, Mary.
And we are very clear to say, based on what we see in court documents, this is this person's opinion. This is what I think or they think. But this is the fact, this is the opinion. So we are very clear on that.
Yeah.
Decided that there were parts that they didn't understand. So they added their own.
Well, maybe, Mary, the parts that I don't understand are, why did you have Roberta Laws killed? And I'm not saying that you killed Roberta Laws, but you had Roberta Laws killed because she was in the way with you and Kenneth. That was obvious. And it would have been easier to just say, you know what? Let's leave. Let's leave Roberta, and then she can find a new caregiver. But you had to take away something from Roberta that you can never give back. You took away her life.
Yeah. The one thing I'm not clear about is who owned the house, because some records say Ken owned it, some say Roberta owned it.
I'm thinking that Roberta owned it, but she may have owned it in like some kind of living trust that was keeping the property in her name, but somebody else was like, keeping care of the property so that way the property taxes and things would get paid. So that's my thinking. So
Ken owned the house via property records.
Exactly.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Oh, he did own the house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then, yeah, I stand corrected on
Thank
that.
you.
So
I can never, I really have a good memory, but that one detail for some reason I can never remember.
To make those bits make sense to them, because my mind doesn't work like other people's minds.
No,
That's why you lie.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Mary. You lie because your mind doesn't work like ours does. Our minds tell the truth.
So to make my thinking make sense, the first person that picked it up had to add some things that weren't there originally. And then the second...
What? Like saying Roberta was pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that came from you.
Yeah, more like we're removing the things that you've added that were lies so that we could get to the core truth of the whole thing. So,
person that picked up the story, well, the story didn't make sense because now two people have written it. So that person adds what they need to make it make sense. And then the fourth person picks it up, and suddenly it's confusing as fuck because 3 different people have written it, and only one of them actually knew the story. And now the story that's out there is all sorts of jumbled, garbled bullshit.
No. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The only thing we really, 2 things we really question: what was in those emails, and who actually pulled the ligature.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is pretty straightforward. You were both in the house by your own admission, Mary. And you both bought the shovel and you both buried her.
Yep.
And the only one that's able to tell the full story completely is me. And I'm not believed.
Because you lie, Mary. You lie so much that nobody can believe anything you say. Even when you're telling us the truth, nobody believes you. It becomes.
What you
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked when when someone says, "Well, the only person that can tell the truth, the story is me." Well, when someone's serving life in prison, they really don't have much to do except maybe, I don't know, get some letters,
Yeah.
write some letters.
Mm-hmm.
You got nothing but time. So you're not the only one with a story, Mary. I mean,
No.
letters from Ken might start coming in, and
Ken-
he has his side of the story too. You know what I mean?
Kenneth has never spoken publicly about it. Granted, nobody from our camp has reached out to him, despite what's in Mary's twisted little warped mind. But we've never corresponded with him. We have no idea what he has to say. I would actually love to write to him and say, "Hey, Mary is on YouTube very publicly stating that you did this 100%, that you held her captive. We don't believe her. You've already been convicted. What do you have to lose? Do you care to comment?"
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, he's literally got nothing to lose. So you could probably set up some kind of video conference interview with him, to where you could ask him like a set. You could probably prearrange it with the jail. So it's like, look, these are the questions we would like to ask him. You're free to approve these or not, but we feel that it's important that Kenneth clear up the record that Mary is muddling. So
Yep.
yeah.
And Lock on Status just made a very good point in chat. I
Mm.
don't think we can even contact Kenneth. She's right. We can't. We have to be on a pre-approved list. So if we do write to him,
Hmm.
the letter's going to be read by the prison staff and then immediately shredded.
Yeah, they're
We'll
gonna
never see
see
him.
anything that has to do with Mary or Roberta Laws. They're gonna be like, nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'd probably have to reach out to his public defender if he's still in practice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute here. Let's get back to the video.
So the other question is, well, how come nobody has come forward to support you if you're not a bad person? They have. The people who are supposedly investigating and journalists have absolutely no journalistic integrity. They will
Does you have any
only
integrity?
Yeah, Mary, journalistic integrity means that you're keeping the truth from getting clouded. That you're making sure that the people know what the truth is. That's journalistic integrity. Okay, Mary?
And I think most of us have it because like I said, we very clearly stated these are the facts in the court case. This
Mm-hmm.
is the physical evidence, which contradicts to what Mary said. Mary has lied. These are the facts, and in our opinion, so let's take our opinions aside. These are our opinions separate from the facts.
Yeah. I mean, Mary,
Nothing's muddled there.
you tried to invent facts and say that Roberta Laws was pregnant because you thought it would make you look better, because Kenneth would be a monster for murdering a pregnant woman with cerebral palsy.
Mhm.
And it would make your bullshit stories about being held captive all the more believable. So when it was proved that Roberta wasn't pregnant, and then that was just another lie that you were telling, Mary. Just another lie.
But that is a recent lie. I'm so sorry, Randolph. I have no idea how long you've been lurking in the shadows and we didn't see you in chat. But she came up with this whole Roberta was pregnant thing sometime over the summer. Like, this is fairly recent. She never mentioned it to police. It wasn't in the autopsy report because she wasn't pregnant. She never said a word of it to anybody until this past summer.
Mhm.
So where did this imagination come from? This is a fantastical story.
She was probably holding on to it in the back of her mind when the police were interrogating her about Roberta's death. She was probably holding on to it, thinking that if things were going to go bad for her, that she could play that card. Oh, well, Kenneth had gotten Roberta pregnant. Boom. And then the story would have...
Autopsy report.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Mary, that's not how pregnancy works. Pregnancy does not work retroactively by magical wish granting. Okay?
Yeah. Because
Oh.
here's the thing: if you knew she was pregnant, she was probably let's play her game. She would have been 3 or 4 months along, and it would have been safe to safe to tell people.
Here's a thought.
Yeah.
What if Mary was the one that's pregnant and she's just using Roberta as a way to kind of hide the fact that she miscarried or that Kenneth forced her to...
That she's had so many miscarriages and at least one possible abortion.
Mhm.
Like when she says in her videos she can't get pregnant anymore, it's a combination. Her uterus is so weak.
Scarred. Yeah.
It's scarred. She can't because the whatever drug she's taken has made her miscarry. Kathy spoke about this on stream, so I'm comfortable reiterating it.
Yeah.
She thinks the only reason she got married to her husband at 19 was because she was pregnant, because she had that glow. And grandma got involved, and then one day that glow went away. She doesn't know for sure that Mary was pregnant, but she suspected. She does not know if Mary naturally miscarried or if grandma persuaded her to have an abortion. This is all speculation. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, as much as I love Kathy, and even she says it, take it with a grain of salt. But
Exactly.
there is a video from Mary from her.
It actually looks like you don't need to be on a pre-approved list in Florida like other states.
Oh, I thought it was just the prison he was in, because he's in a maximum security prison down the Everglades National Security. I thought it was just the one he was in, not the state requirement.
I think we should try to make contact. Yeah.
If we can, I think I'm going to have some free time this weekend, and I'm going to start writing. I'm going to make a letter.
They also have their media policies too.
Yeah.
If you want to schedule an interview with an inmate.
Daywave, yeah, just do it on Daywave. That way you can get it on video conference, and then Mary has video evidence countering her bullshit. So,
yeah, right. That's it. If he even agrees to talk, he can always say, "Nope, I'm where I want to be."
yeah.
But no, it's something to think about. But I think she privated this video on her channel, but I know AP has it on one of his archive channels. It's from last year. She's in a homeless shelter.
Mm-hmm.
She's running into the bathroom claiming she's having a heavy period and she's bleeding.
So
she's not having a period, she's miscarrying. She's about 6 weeks pregnant and having a miscarriage. One of my dorm mates in college miscarried in our bathroom, and it was just as much blood. So
it says here for media reps may contact the state prison inmate by U.S. postal mail. It is not necessary for media to notify the communications office before communicating with an inmate. Mail from news media representatives is considered privileged mail. Privileged mail may be opened in the presence of the inmate to determine that the correspondence is privileged mail and that it contains no contraband. To ensure prompt processing, mail the letter to the inmate using his or her full name and department number, DC number, and care of the institution where he or she is incarcerated. Again, the inmate's DC number. Visit the department's offender search database. Inmates do not have access to unrestricted telephones and are not permitted to conduct telephone interviews unless the news media representative is on the specific inmate's pre-approved telephone calling list.
That's probably what I'm thinking about.
So basically, you'd have to write him, get him to get you on the list, and then you could interview him.
Doable. I think that's very doable. And I think that if
Well,
he may actually want this to come out if he knows that Mary's lying again. So
To people who are against me. There are multiple people on my Facebook who went to school with me. Were kind of, friends with me back then. They remember shit. One of them told me about a lawsuit that her family had against my family for using my little brother's diapers to assault their house.
guarantee that never happened, Mary. That
That I gotta watch in Kathy's video because I'm sure she addressed it.
yeah, because that's a you can't sue somebody else over like a prank like that. That's not
Unless there was significant damage to the
yeah.
side of the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe, I like maybe we're talking. You have to get like a cleaning service out there to like clean off the whatever got splattered. But they're talking about
Yeah.
baby diaper, one baby diaper.
That's something that happened. I don't know how to find the lawsuit, but there was a lawsuit against it.
I don't know how to find the lawsuit, but there was a lawsuit against it. She's basically saying, "Oh, well, I don't have proof, but I'm not lying." So.
So you have to take me at my word because I never lie.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So, what did this person go through? This person received messages from the people that were harassing me, asking them about my childhood. They told the truth. And do you know what the person who lived near me and knows the truth was told? They were told that they were making it up to help me. That none of that ever happened, that I had told them that happened and they believed it.
You told them, you told your Facebook friends what you wanted them to believe. And then when they found out the true story, then they sided with us instead of you, Mary. So,
Which happens a lot.
mm-hmm.
I know of a handful of our Facebook friends who were given a data dump of information and just said, "This is all we know about her. Read it, make your own decision." And the response was, "Jesus fucking Christ, I'm never sending her another dime."
Yeah. That's why your donation marks are going away on Facebook, Mary. We're, one by one, we're telling them the truth about you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So if you're going to go to a witness, listen to the witness's testimony and then say, well, yeah, we don't believe any of that. You were told that story, so go bye. You're not a witness.
Actually, that does happen in court cases every single day.
yeah.
Turns out either the witness was lying, or the witness's testimony is considered hearsay. They heard it from somebody else.
Right. Yeah. Mary, witnesses are not perfect. Some witnesses are intentionally not perfect. Okay. So you suggesting that, the court system failed you because you were somehow the perfect witness. You were far from the perfect witness for anybody. So,
There is no integrity in that. None. The only people that they will interview and talk to are members of my family or people who dislike me. They will not
So
interview.
everybody went to high school with.
yeah. I'm wondering, hey, if Kenneth agrees to the interview, does that mean that Mary will consider Kenneth officially disliking her at that point? Probably. Her persecution complex will certainly kick in at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So.
People that
she was
like
claiming
me.
back in the spring that Virgie was planning on writing to him, and he was gonna work on getting Ken out, but Ken knows Hitman, and they were gonna come. Ken was gonna come send Hitman after her. She has to go into hiding. bitch, if you're that afraid, you shouldn't be on fucking YouTube, especially face revealing.
Don't forget the fact that we know now that there's 2 Kenneth McBrides out there in the world, and they are both murderers.
And I'm gonna say, based on the demeanor of the one who was swearing in court, I'm more worried about him than our Kenneth.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually I'm up to 5 right now. There's 5.
Christ.
What?
Yeah, one beheaded his grandma.
Are you fucking kidding? 5 Kenneth McBrides that are all guilty of murder? I need the technical difficulties bumper. My brain just stopped working.
What's it? Let's hear his music he does when he does his technical difficulties.
I know. AP's gonna send me the James of Our Lives bumper so that I can use it. It'll be one more thing. It'll be one more thing that I'll learn on how to use Streamlabs with, because it's in chroma key, but I think I can make it work. So, but 5.
I don't stream, so I know nothing.
5 Kenneth McBrides. Mary, take your pick on which one of them gets out of jail first. God. Oh.
They will not believe stories told by people other than me. They won't believe it.
What is it with people named Kenneth McBride? I don't know.
They refuse. So, if y'all are confused because the story makes absolutely no sense, it makes perfect sense if you read it from my original book.
No.
But after a
fuck off, man.
Yeah, oh, you want us to see your original book? Hey, you know what? Now I have an excuse to put it on the stream. I'll never stop screaming. Where was that? Where was that bullshit?
Maybe at some point we should just have another dramatic reading, because there are new names in your chat, or names who have been around but just maybe have missed the JJ's dramatic reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we definitely need to get back to I'll never stop screaming. So give me just a moment.
Not tonight, because
no, not tonight.
It's late and we have other things to get to.
Yeah, we have like 3 more videos to go through. So here, give me just a moment.
Year of it being picked up and telephoned for multiple people to profit off of and create a monster.
Comparing your little fiction to what was actually in the police transcripts and court documents is not a game of telephone.
Right.
Oh, and P.S. Mary, you really weren't listening when I gave you the asshole analogy last week, were you?
No, I don't think she was.
Heard what you wanted to hear.
Yeah. Oh, and she definitely heard what she wanted to hear in one of the later videos. So
most of the stuff they're saying isn't even true anymore. They just make shit up, you know. They take the truth and they twist it until it's something bad. And it's my life that's being destroyed by it. You know, luckily I didn't really have a life to destroy.
That's an interesting thing that she just said. Luckily I didn't have a life to destroy. You know what? Roberta Laws had a life, Mary.
She had a nice life.
Yeah.
I do question her taste in men, but she had a nice life.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the dead.
Yeah.
But that doesn't...
Everybody makes mistakes in life. So.
Really make it any easier. Perfect example of what I was just saying, how people take the truth and then just make their own stuff up. Well, your own words convict you. Wait until your aunt gets documents from the attorney your grandmother hired for you on retainer. There was no attorney. There was no lawyer. I had no lawyer.
You know what, Mary? I'm pausing it and I'm calling bullshit on this because
he had a lawyer.
Yeah, and the reason is and you'll see it in like almost every episode of Law and Order where you have like a male suspect and a female suspect and they're both facing either a joint trial or they're facing separate trials. If it's a joint trial, you're going to have like two lawyers, one for the male suspect, one for the female suspect, and they're independent, but they're working for the common defense of the accused. So Mary probably had a lawyer on standby, and it's just like as soon as shit was about to go sour and Mary was going to get charged, then the lawyer kicks in automatically at that point. So yes, you had a lawyer, Mary. Don't lie to us.
That was a lie that my aunt made up that has been spread around. The $50,000 lawyer that supposedly saved me.
No, Mary, you're throwing around the $50,000 number again like it's a damn game show, and I've explained it to you, okay? It's not $50,000, it's $400 an hour. That's the number you should have been quoting, Mary. That would have been a lot more believable if you'd quoted an hourly rate instead of a yearly salary, okay? And you know what a $50,000 lawyer is? That's like low on the totem pole, Mary. 50,000? You picked that low of a fucking number for a lawyer's salary? Come on, it's at least 500,000. Jesus, Mary, you don't even know how to lie good. So,
Well, in her defense with that is the figure that Aunt Kathy quoted, and Kathy knows there's a lawyer. But she's admitted she could
but
be mistaken
that
about
could have been
the
like
cost.
misinformation that was fed to Kathy through Mary. So, I don't blame Kathy for it, but it's only the fact that no one can confirm a $50,000 lawyer because $50,000 lawyers would be incredibly, incredibly fucking low on the totem pole. So, I mean, I barely make like 30,000 a year in my customer service work at hell job. I almost said work at home, but it's clearly work at hell. But $1,000 a year would be peanuts for a lawyer. That lawyer would be eating ramen noodles and bologna sandwiches all day. Oh, do we have to get Nick Rakita in now at this point? Do I have to get a free consultation from Nick Rakita to, basically challenge you on your bullshit, Mary? I think I do.
Did not exist.
Hey, if anybody knows how to get in touch with Nick Rakita, throw him a link to this and say I'd like him to, appear.
My aunt created that.
No, you created that so that your aunt would repeat that. Okay? Big difference.
What did she lie on the stand for you about that bothered her so much before she died? My grandmother never took the stand.
But she was ready to. She was ready to. They had her ready to go, didn't they?
She was on the witness list, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. She was on the witness list, but in Florida, the transcripts aren't put on the county websites like every other document. You actually have to call up the county clerk and request them.
Yeah.
So we do not, at this point, we do not know if Mrs. Grove actually, or Mrs. Gove, there's no R in there, Mrs. Gove actually took the stand or not.
Yeah.
I am of the opinion she did because she would not have been on that witness list, the week of trial if she wasn't testifying.
She had something.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why she would testify anyway, because I would think, unless she was a character witness for Mary, which kind of makes no sense. But like the only thing she could really testify to was their behavior and attitudes toward each other at dinner.
Yeah.
And whether or not they argued in front of her about Roberta, because Grandma wasn't in the truck at the time they argued on the way home. They had already dropped her off.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't in the house. So I really don't know why she was on that witness list.
She had to have been a prosecution witness because
she was the prosecution. She was a witness for the state. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way that if Mary is given, okay, you can call witnesses that will help your case. Okay, I want to call my grandma. Well, why do you want to call your grandma? Because my grandma is awesome. No, Mary, your grandma. Just because your grandma's awesome doesn't necessarily mean that you can call her on the witness list. So, the state had every reason to bring grandma on the witness stand because the state's like, hey, you were with Mary. What happened? Oh, I was with Mary, all right. Here's what happened. So, yeah. Mary, your own words just make you look more guilty.
My grandmother didn't go to trial. Are you kidding me? This
She was
is
in the
where
courtroom in a wheelchair pretending to be elderly and infirm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the story has come to. This? Now you're saying that my elderly grandmother was on the stand?
We'll have to look at the court transcripts, but we can definitely confirm or deny this if you'd like, Mary. Oh, hi, Stadler. Yeah, I misspoke about her testifying and ran with it. There you go. Have a moderator. There you go.
That never happened. At all. You are creating your own. Okay, if my grandmother took the stand, why was that not talked about in any of the police reports or any of the reports about the trial? That would have been big news. She's got a lot to say. The fuck? She absolutely was not on the stand. She never went to trial. She might have been there, like there in the audience watching, but she
Called
most
being in
certainly
the
was not
gallery.
called.
Or the gallery, yeah.
Yep.
It's not an audience.
It's a gallery. Yeah.
Up to testify.
Then why was she on the witness list, Mary? Why was she on the state's witness list?
For the state, Mary. Yeah. And even if it was a $50,000 retainer that, a lawyer would want, you're still entitled to free legal defense. And the state would actually pick up, some of the tab for that. So, yeah.
I mean, Kenny Boy had not legal aid.
A pretty good lawyer.
Attorney.
A state-appointed attorney, yeah. Because it's like the...
Yeah, he was...
It's like the opening episode, or the pilot episode of Better Call Saul, where, Saul basically does this because, hey, it's a check. So some people actually believe in the free legal system, Mary, and there are good lawyers out there who will do that. So throwing around that a $50,000 retainer makes more sense if it was a civil trial, Mary, and you had to defend yourself on a civil level, and you were being sued for, let's say, defamation of character, that you defamed AP, let's say. Hypothetically, Mary, let's say that Adonis Paul sued Mary Barone. Then you need to get a retainer, Mary.
But to be fair, you can be like a witness or implicated in a serious crime, and still hire a retainer just in cases. So I think this was one of those scenarios where Grandma got the lawyer just in case.
Yeah. She was keeping another lawyer on standby. Mm-hmm. So beware the scamming millionaire. Tell us about the scamming millionaire, Mary.
Got worse. So now they are preparing a scam. Nobody's going to believe me, but I'm warning you people. They are preparing to scam a lot of you. Here.
They're preparing to scam a lot of people.
I know I'm overtired right now. But what the fuck?
Look, Well,
Bitch, what are you
perhaps.
smoking? Oh, wait.
Oh, she's going off again about this. Perhaps a fundraiser is in order to help Aunt Kathy get the evidence of the attorney on retainer. Executor of the estate can get that info. I will request Freedom of Information Act for transcripts on the trial.
Oh my Statler 07, because I know you're in the chat. Big 07. But oh my fucking god. Barry, I'm assuming it's a he. He's fucking with you. 99% of your comments are people fucking with you. We explained this to you last weekend.
Mary, look at the characters that he's got in his name. Look at all those funky little non-alpha numeric characters that he's got in his name. That's
Look
someone
at
that's
his fucking
fucking with you,
avatar. It's
Mary.
a Muppet. It's a fucking Muppet. And I love the Muppets. Awesome name, by the way.
Yeah. Now watch, the other one's gonna start trolling Mary.
Waldorf.
Yeah, Waldorf.
I am very much looking forward to her response video to Mersh and what he said about getting a billboard to create a fund to get her ex boyfriend out of prison. She's gonna go nuts.
Tried Freedom Project.
No.
No. I've already made a little postcard for it.
We have a billboard, and we have all 5 of the Kenneth McBrides that we've uncovered tonight, and we have like little strings that just interconnect all of them into a satanic pentagram.
I'm DMing that to Kitty because she'll make like the best like little postcard Photoshop art thing, and it'll be funny.
Yes. I'm just as astounded as you are, Mary. We have found 5 Kenneth McBrides in the world that are all murderers.
And apparently all need saving and release.
Because they didn't do nothing.
I feel like it's discriminatory against people named Kenny. I mean, what's just wrong?
I feel like there's like other Mary Barones from like other dimensions and realities that are somehow merging into ours, and they're all interacting with these other Kenneth McBrides and forcing them to commit murder.
It's the Irish persecution all over again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I, for one, as half potato N-word, will not stand for it.
Well, I guess the bigger question is if one of them had to go free, would it be the Kenny McBride that was a pedophile and strangled a woman in a wheelchair, or the guy that lopped off his grandma's head? Which one do you want?
Don't make me. That's.
I can't choose either. I'm sorry.
I know which one I'm heading towards, and that's just because of inconsistencies in statements and police documents make me think my original theory of the crime does not hold water.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seems like at least the other Kenny, he was just mad at Grandma. And Grandma, God rest her soul, isn't around, where this guy seems like he'd be a perpetual offender of some nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fundraiser.
Go ahead.
Mary's Kenny seems to be the worst Kenny out of the two, to be honest.
Yeah.
Used his second chance to commit murder. Used a second chance from a sex offense to commit murder.
And child sex offense.
Yeah.
Sex offense against a child.
I mean, he was going to already be in like a registry for that anyway, but, at that point, why not screw your life up even more? So.
Is in order to help Aunt Kathy get the evidence of the attorney on retainer.
We don't need a fundraiser. We don't even really need a donation. Like like Statler says, all you need is a Freedom of Information Act request on that. So, hey, yeah, in the interest of the media, they'll the media will do that. So.
Sorry. Executor of the estate can get that info. I will request FOIA for transcripts on the trial. So, a fundraiser. Huh?
Does she, does she assume that FOIA means some kind of fundraiser or
I bet she
internet
has
activity?
bet you
Yeah,
she has no idea what it stands for.
she probably doesn't. No, I mean,
Mary's very big. Mary's very big on share screen and showing proof of the crimes against her. But I'm sure she could find those emails.
yeah,
She could say, "Look, here's my correspondence." And if it was the way she says, I'm sure she'd get a whole lot of apologies from a whole lot of people.
yeah,
But I think that she might get at least some apologies. Not from everyone and not for everything, because some of the other things that she's done is questionable and heinous in its own right and angering. But when it comes to the case of this, poor disabled woman, she could put a lot of these things to bed, but she also is trying to balance the line of proving her innocence, but not cornering herself into, admitting her
Well,
involvement to the degree that it might actually be. So she really can't share because she's not really sure.
yeah.
I don't think she can share because it would implicate her
Correct.
further. There is a now
Correct.
deleted video that AP has where she got so angry, and this is, I think, from around May or June. She got so angry, she just blurted out, "Only 3 people were in the house who know what happened."
Yep.
And she immediately deleted it because she wasn't in the house. She was in the truck, too scared to run to the nearest neighbor for help. So yeah, and this is the thing. She doesn't do live. She uploads. So she uploaded it, reviewed it after she uploaded it, and went, "Oh shit," and deleted it. Too late. We got it when we saw it.
Yep.
But she whenever she gets angry, she admits a little bit more, which is why she should shut the fuck.
Yeah.
But what she doesn't understand is it's been almost 13 years. Unless she commits another heinous felony, like premeditates and kills somebody else, Florida is not coming for her.
No.
They're not. Like, I wish they would, but the reality is they ain't. And
No.
I've said this on your stream. I've said this on Virgie's stream. I've said it in Virgie's chat logs. I've said it in Daywave too. They ain't coming for her. But this is also why she's petrified of the police. She's petrified of getting 5150 or Baker acted. She's petrified of any involvement with authority because she is so scared that they're going to dig deep into her background, find out about Roberta, and call Jacksonville.
Yeah. Anything, she can't bring up any news articles now because as soon as she brings up a news article, it says that you were Kenneth McBride's live-in girlfriend at the time of Roberta's murder. What was that about, Mary? So,
A fundraiser? Y'all are really okay. I mean, if you think that my millionaire aunt needs your money to prove something that is not in court documents for some reason.
Aunt Kathy, thank you again for the $15 donation that you've blessed our channel with. We love you, Aunt Kathy, and you are welcome to come into our Discord anytime. I've made sure that Aunt Kathy has a wrench in our Discord. Mary, Aunt Kathy,
Aunt Kathy.
yeah.
Aunt Kathy is like one of the sweetest ladies, and she is our Aunt Kathy. This year, our community gained an aunt and a new cousin in Eliana.
Yep. And you know what? Aunt Kathy's coming around to where she's learning how to go on the streams herself now. Aunt Kathy's going to set you straight if we can't, Mary. Guarantee you that.
Have fun. But I am warning you now. My aunt has all the money she needs. She does not need your money. She lives in a nice house. She has herself taken care of.
I think that this is a good point. She's trying to make herself look more pitiful and more, donate money to me because my Aunt Kathy is a rich whore that just won't give us any money whatsoever. So that kind of thing. She's trying to attack Aunt Kathy by making Aunt Kathy look rich and guilt tripping other people into giving Mary money because Aunt Kathy won't give her any money. You know what? It doesn't matter if Aunt Kathy is rich or not. Money is not the point. The truth is, Mary. The truth. So.
And maybe Mary, who hasn't spoken with her aunt in good. Grandma died 6 years ago. She hasn't spoken to her aunt probably in a good, I'm gonna say 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are you to speak for your aunt? Aunt Kathy has never spoken for you. She hasn't.
No.
She has opinions about you. She has drawn educated guesses based on your videos, but she has never spoken for you or put words in your mouth.
That's right, Mary.
So, if y'all are creating a fundraiser or donating for this cause, you are being scammed by a rich ass bitch. So just, and
How are we being scammed when she's not the one setting up this so-called fundraiser?
Yeah.
Hey, Statler, are you really Aunt Kathy? Blink twice for yes. No, even better. Quote something from the Muppet Christmas Carol for yes. Just teasing.
Yeah.
we knew it was going to do this somehow because Adonis Paul was making so much money covering my cases. And
Oh, stalker much again, Mary? There he can't help but mention Adonis Paul's name, just like how James Robert Clark was saying, "Oh, well, Randolph Vance was making a video about me." This is, Adonis Paul is Mary's Huckleberry.
She really, really hates him.
Yeah, she does.
But what's interesting though is he goes in on her, but not nearly to the level. I mean, I was just looking up BitChute, and man, you want to see something that's kind of off the grid. You seen like Niece's videos and stuff on
I
James and
won't go
everything
near
on
Niece's
BitChute.
videos.
Niece is just going in on both of them on BitChute. She's brutal on BitChute.
You don't want to be on their LolCow ranches, Mary. You definitely don't.
so now he's not covering my cases anymore. Suddenly there's this fundraiser. Amazing how there's still going to be a way to bring in money to attack me. Scams.
There are times where I really can't. I go back and forth between she's got to know they're fucking with her, and she's just doing this for attention.
Mm-hmm.
She can't be this stupid or naive. She's got to know.
Yeah.
Or does she really take every single comment as gospel?
She does. Yes, she does. We'll find out in a couple of videos, but yes, she does. So
no spoilers.
Scams. And my aunt's doing it, and that's sick because my aunt does not need the money. I am telling you, unless she has really gone deep into her drug addiction of pain medications, which she was addicted to when my grandmother passed away.
Mary, are you kind of substituting your aunt for your own drug addictions now? Because it sounds like you are. It sounds like you were trying to, make it seem like you're not guilty. It was my aunt that had the drug addictions. Oh, you know what? I know all those pain pills disappeared, but it wasn't me. It was my aunt that took the pain pills. Mary, the worst kind of lies are when you blame other people for your own mistakes, and you know that you're throwing them under the bus for that. Mm-hmm. So.
And for those new to Mary lore, Grandma died 6 years ago last month. And that was in the Jacksonville, Florida area. And Kathy has lived in Georgia since 1997. So how would Mary know? Why would Mary think she was on pills when she wasn't around? How would she know? Is she so fond of accusing Aunt Kathy of the same thing?
Yeah.
Unless she's gone bankrupt on that, she does not need your money. And no amount of money you pump into this fundraiser is going to get you the information that you're trying to get. The only way is if she gets the family lawyer to write up forms or paperwork saying this existed. It's not legal, but that doesn't mean it won't happen.
You know what? There are so many different little lies and half-truths that are going on in Mary's head, and they are all about to meet at one beautiful converging point here very soon. I've been teasing it, and I know I'm saying it. It's a couple of videos, but I'm telling you, she hits this one converge point that is just brilliant. So, and we're almost there. So,
Okay.
But it still doesn't change anything to say from back in 2009 to 2013, I did not have a lawyer and my grandmother did not go to trial. This is all just
Your
somebody
grandmother did
trying
not
to make money
testify at trial.
off of
No.
your hatred.
There is a difference between those phrases.
Yeah, your grandmother was ready to testify at trial if necessary. Just, I think, in case you were to say something to the effect of, well, my grandmother said this, and the state could easily put your grandmother on the stand and say, did you say this? No, this is what I said. That's why your grandmother was ready to go on the stand, was because, they were ready in case you decided that you were going to play the grandma card. They were going to counter that grandma card with one of their own.
For me. And I'm trying to warn you, even though you hate me, and I should just let you pump your money into this scam, I can't in good conscience not say anything.
FOIAs are free.
Yep. Okay.
Mary's other aunt, being the executor of the estate, can contact the lawyer for free. There might be a fee for any printouts of saying, yes, I was retained by so and so on such and such a date for this case.
But guess what? They can also send for free. They can send PDF files via attachments in email, Mary.
Yeah.
So we could just as easily request it be sent as a PDF file, and that's free. That's free, Mary. Information is free.
The most that they could possibly be charged for any type of even pulling the time it takes to pull down the documents and PDFing it, the most it's going to cost is $25.
Yeah, you're basically paying a couple of people for an hour's worth of time at that point. So, and it probably didn't even take them long. Virgie said they were like fantastically, quick with the response time on that. So.
Oh yeah, the clerk's office. I think it's Duval County. It's Duval County Clerk's office. He had stuff within like an hour, and a lot of us, I think, were requesting the files, so we think they just pulled them and just kept it by the copier.
I think it's like a speed run challenge at this point. How fast can you get the Mary files?
And then they took everything down for a while, so we were like, there's only one reason we can think of why they would do that, but we don't think that's ever going to happen. And then all of a sudden, everything was available, even things you had to request specifically for.
Mm-hmm.
So we think they were just they turned off the case number, and then just so they could pull everything and then just uploaded everything so they wouldn't have to.
Yeah, they were just like, okay, yeah, we're tired of doing all these paperwork, so here, let's just put it in one easy to use file.
Yeah. If you live in the area, we're just going to have the package sitting in the foyer. Just come get it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Mary Barone request. Okay, here you go.
It has its own file. 2009 CF 0000610, if anyone's interested. That's the case file.
I'll
Yes,
have.
that's how often I've been in it.
I.
Virgie's always asking on stream, Maureen, what is it again?
Hey, let's throw that in the chat so that they know. So
Okay, I'll get.
yeah, I'll go into the video here.
Okay, so another saying that it's not a scam. Trial transcripts and certified documents from attorneys isn't scamming. You have those things. Y'all have had those things for nearly a year. The fundraiser to obtain more somehow is the scam, sir. That's what you not. Right here, perhaps a fundraiser is in order. Do you I mean, it's right underneath what you're posting. Are you understanding that I have no problem with you getting the court transcripts? You already have those. I have a problem with you gathering evidence that you already have.
Grabbering evidence, she just said.
Oh god.
She tried to combine the words gathering and grabbing, and it became grabbering. So we're just grabbering all this evidence, Mary.
Okay. No. I have a problem with you setting up a fundraiser to get information that you already have. Why do I have a problem with that? Because you already have this information. It was free. And the fundraiser would be purely a scam. Obviously, I don't really care. It's not hurting me. I'm not donating to it.
But then why are you so scared they're going to be getting this information?
Yeah. If the information is, bullshit like you say it is, why are you afraid of it, Mary? What could possibly be in this information that you don't want us to see, Mary?
It's ridiculous that you're now trying to walk back the fundraiser idea as not being a scam when it clearly is.
Oh, here these are where, a couple of her lie threads out of like 3 or 4 of them have merged, and more of them are getting ready to merge, like I said.
So please explain what the fundraiser is for, if it's not for these court documents that y'all have already shown over and over and over again and has changed
over and over and over and over and over and over.
Kind of she ain't wrong there.
Yeah.
absolutely nothing about the reality of the situation. You are attempting to scam people, and it is disgusting. Please stop.
Like helping to bury a body?
Yeah.
Of someone who saw you as a friend?
Yeah. Mary, that was a scam that you pulled on Roberta. Is you pretended to be her friend just so that you could get into her house, just so that you could take from her. And
fuck her fiance in the next room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, poor Roberta probably needed to have better taste in men, but her death is on, partly on your hands, Mary. Partly. Because the other part belongs to Kenneth, of course. But
I mean, I can't make you do anything, but I can just request that you please stop attempting to scam people.
Here it comes. This is. Do you want to restart the playback? No, I don't. I want to play this from the beginning because this is gold.
Again, with the lies and demonization. And this time it's from somebody who's usually not like that. Making up shit is what you did in your last video. Some random person said, and not a random person, he's right there. Perhaps someone should start a fundraiser and you ran away with it claiming Kathy is scamming y'all. Did I?
Yes, you did.
She's also breaking the charger on her phone. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's using her phone for way too much, and you could tell that charging port is starting to get worn out on that. So,
Or did I say somebody is attempting to start a fundraiser for Kathy? Because they're saying perhaps a fundraiser is in order to help Aunt Kathy. Now, it might be hard for you to see that. Perhaps a fundraiser is in order to help Aunt Kathy get the evidence, right? So this isn't me saying, that Kathy is scamming people. We are starting a fundraiser to help Aunt Kathy.
But in your last video, you specifically said,
So
and Kathy's starting a fundraiser.
Oop.
And Kathy's doing a fundraiser.
That's what I said.
mm-hmm.
In the other.
Yeah, that's what you said, Mary. Is that Aunt Kathy was doing the fundraiser, and the lie threads have finally begun to converge, and this is the video that they all converge in.
Other video, that's exactly what I said. And Kathy does not need your financial help. I did not lie. I'm literally quoting the comment that is still available to read directly under your comment that is trying to make me look like a liar.
Nobody has to make you look like a liar. You are a liar, Mary. Your own words have made you a liar. They don't make you look like a liar. They make you a liar. That's what it is. So
you read the comment out loud, Mary,
mm-hmm.
and then you proceeded to say, "And Kathy doesn't need help. And Kathy does not need to start a fundraiser. And Kathy does not need a fundraiser. And Kathy does not need to do this."
Yeah.
Anybody else would have said, a fundraiser for Aunt Kathy is not needed. That's how it should have been phrased. But that ain't what you fucking said.
No. You just made it look like, a fundraiser for Aunt Kathy is not needed, but you made it look like your Aunt Kathy was this rich gazillionaire that could just throw money and, get whatever she wants done. So, and bless you again, Aunt Kathy, for helping us out on the stream last night with your Christmas gift. Thank you for this. So, and Bobcat says thank you too. So,
if they are doing it in Kathy's honor or for Kathy, then it's Kathy doing it.
No, it's not.
No,
that's not how that works. You dumb twat.
No, she keeps throwing it in the most simplistic way, but it's like she keeps throwing it in fragments. Yeah. Like a fragment here, a fragment there. Oh, Aunt Kathy, money, millionaire, fundraiser, just
because Aunt Kathy's gonna benefit from this make-believe fundraiser. She's obviously the one behind it, the one organizing it behind the scenes. No, Mary, no. Right before Christmas, ROTC was sending around a GoFundMe for a friend of one of our OG listeners. Their 10-year-old was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I can't remember the scientific term, but it was fluid on the brain. It wasn't draining properly, so it's just kind of sitting there. Thank God the little girl's going to be fine. She was walking. She was home in time for Christmas. Thank God.
Yeah.
But the family didn't start the fundraiser, the GoFundMe for their medical bills. It was a family friend who started it. And the family's going to benefit from them, but the family didn't ask for it. I'm assuming somebody took it upon themselves to start this so their friends could be able to pay for their daughter's medical care and have her home for Christmas.
Chase the Train has tipped $10. Thank you, sir, for your gift to this stream. And if you'd like, we will make you a permanent wrench in our Discord. So feel free to join us on our Discord there, Chase the Train. Maureen, did you hear just now the thrill of victory, agony of defeat on your end?
Not through the phone, because I'm doing it. I've got Discord going. But now it pops up, but I don't want to unmute my laptop.
That's okay. That's okay.
'Cause then
Yeah,
it'll echo
I
and-
finally
yeah.
got it working right. So it's not that, cartoonish zombie going, bzzing.
I'm sorry. I try to be professional.
But yeah, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. That's what James and Mary are. They're just the agony of defeat. So,
Yep.
oh, and yeah, we're getting ready for the grand Mary singularly. How did you put it, Shriva? Singularity or something? Anyway.
I wouldn't let people hold a fundraiser for me.
But you have, Mary. But you have. You just lied.
About the 3 GoFundRaisers or GoFundMe she tried to start when Grandma died.
Yeah. And that's another one of her little threads that's just crossed over. The big one's coming in about 35 seconds.
I'm strapped in.
JJ, start recording.
I didn't know what was happening. Does that make sense? Like, if somebody was like, "Hey, we're gonna hold a fundraiser to get you this," and I knew about it, I would probably stop it because I don't trust other people. So if people are holding fundraisers for my aunt, then my aunt is a part of it because they're literally fundraising for her. This is like that other stupid ass dude talking about who's gonna fundraise for a truck.
That's not fundraising. You LolCow.
Mary, go back and watch my streams. I've already explained it to you. Okay, Mary? It's not the super chat money that's going to get me the truck. It's the YouTube ad revenue from all of the reaction videos that I make about you from now on, Mary. From you and James. You are reactionary LolCows to us. Okay?
Mary, this is how monetization works on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Ads are run. The content creators who have the ads running on their videos, as long as they meet YouTube and AdSense requirements, gets a cut of the ad revenue.
Mm-hmm.
They're being paid, kind of like doing a job. So this is money that Randolph and ROTC and Virgie and AP and every other monetized channel out there.
Oh, I'm not monetized just yet. But when I do get monetized, look out, Mary, because I'm the conductor on this LolCow train.
Yeah, I'm just trying to simplify it so her little brain can understand.
Oh yeah.
So this is money when they get monetized, this is money they earn for doing their job. Mm-hmm. They can use that money however they see fit. Randolph here is taking that money and putting it into his piggy bank to save up for a new truck.
Well, and it helps with Bobcat in case like I have to get like a vet bill for him or paid or something like that. So that's a great emergency fund, Mary. And Mary.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You go ahead. I'm
just saying. This is how he's helping to pay for the new truck that he wants.
Yeah.
By doing a job.
Yeah. You're my new job, Mary. You're the best job ever. I made more money yesterday in the 3 hours streaming, Mary, than I could have, doing my customer service job for 2 days. Yeah. And you know what? I'd rather do this, Mary, because if you're going to provide me all the videos that I can react to, that's perfect. Oh.
That my friend does not want.
Here comes. These are even more lies that have converged out of this grand one.
It's not for my friend. It's just that he wants a new truck. And he saw Adonis Paul do it. So he's going to do it. And he's going to use my Navy buddy as the excuse. And then when he finds out that my buddy doesn't want the new truck because he literally gave the truck away and wasn't looking to get another free one, he's not like that. then the guy can say, "Oh, well, see, he doesn't want the truck, then I'll keep it. Hey, I got a new truck. Imagine that."
Nice try, Mary.
I know what she's referencing, but
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck?
Yeah, she's making a point that I was saying that there was probably going to be enough YouTube ad revenue to buy 2 trucks, and I would have bought a truck to recompensate for the one that Mary destroyed for her Navy
Oh yeah,
buddy. And I think that,
he didn't give it away. He had to total it out.
yeah,
I
and
mean, I don't know that for sure, but based on the damage that we've heard through the grapevine that you did to that truck, Mary, he had to damage it out
hmm
and total it out.
I wonder
It was
if like it got parted out, like bit by bit, like her,
yeah.
junkie friends like said, like, oh, you're not going to use this catalytic converter. Oh, you're not going to use this alternator. Oh, you're not going to use these parts. So we'll just, yeah, that's
He
probably why they had to
probably what
total it
probably what
out.
probably yeah totaled or parted. Yeah, it was not in running order, and it was just cheaper to part it out or
hmm
condemn it than try and get the entire interior replaced. And I also, after having not being run for a year, the battery and the edge were probably dead as doornails.
Yeah. So.
Even though I raised the money saying that it was for a guy in the Navy who didn't actually get scammed. But yay, a new truck!
Nice
She has no
try.
idea how the world works. She has no idea how the world works.
Yeah. Now we're not fundraising to buy the truck, Mary. That YouTube donation. Uh, if I was fundraising to buy a truck, don't you think the donation goal would be something like, oh, I don't know, $23,997.84? How do I know that number, Mary? I don't. I just pulled numbers out of my ass. I'm just joking. I'm just fucking with you, Mary.
Well, I was gonna say you did your research. You did your research about the app. Go with it. Go with it. Because it makes you look good.
Yeah, Mary, I set the donation goal to my stream as $1.09 because it's partly a reference to the 1979 Steve Martin movie The Jerk, because that was the OptiGrab legal settlement, $1.09. And also the fact that it's not about the YouTube streaming tips. They're helpful. Yes, I am grateful to the streamers or to the people who are donating to my streaming. But Mary, my streaming is more about exposing your lies and getting people to see you for the real Mary Barone that you are. And that's what this stream is about. The money is an afterthought. The Toyota Tacoma is an afterthought, but that's an afterthought if the YouTube advertising revenue takes off like I know it's going to because of you, Mary. Because the more every year that you put out more and more videos, you're just making the YouTube and the Google algorithm spit your name out more and more and more. Adrasdea. Adrasdea did this. Adrasdea did that. Adrasdea lied. Adrasdea is responsible for the death of Roberta Laws. Those are the videos that you don't want on the internet, Mary. So.
And the whole time, they're painting me as the scammer.
Nobody's painting you as a scammer because you are a scammer. We're unmasking your scams. There's a difference on that. If we were painting you as a scammer, you wouldn't be, you would be a normal, everyday, nice, average person trying to get along and trying to be happy. You'd be working an actual job, and then a whole bunch of legitimate trolls come along and say, "Oh, you're a scammer, you're a scammer, you're a scammer." That would be like James Robert Clark calling Eliana a scammer. Nobody believes James, and nobody believes you anymore, Mary. Yeah.
Open your eyes.
She uses those nice little dramatic pauses and those nice little dramatic statements. Open your eyes. Mary, our eyes have been open to you for years now. You're
From
asking
the
us more to
beginning.
close our eyes to the people who are telling the truth about you. That's what you're doing, Mary.
Uh, uh, this is ridiculous. Y'all have already made so much money off of this, and it's just never ending.
No, it's never ending, is it, Mary? Well, it did end tonight because that's the last video. You did post days before Christmas, but I'm not interested in that because that's like a thing for Super Nintendo, and really, that's not LolCow worthy because you're not being a LolCow on that video, Mary. Okay, post more of your Super Nintendo videos, and you're not being a LolCow. That's the easiest way to put it. Nobody's threatening your life, Mary, when when we say, just post more videos of you doing Let's Plays, okay? Eventually somebody will come around and say, hey, Randy, do more videos of Star Trek Online. And I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll have to make time in the schedule for it, but I'll do it. So. And I don't think there's anything more from James. I didn't see anything
Nope.
on his videos.
I think you're right. I think you ran out of data. He can't upload, and he refuses to walk like anywhere near like a public library to hack it, not hacking, but to take advantage of the Wi-Fi.
he doesn't even have any fast food restaurants in his area to take advantage of. Oh my God. Poor James. But Maureen, thank you for appearing. I almost called you Mary. God damn it! I'm sorry about that.
Maureen's Gaelic for Mary, so
Yeah, yeah. But Maureen, thank you for appearing tonight.
thank you
ASDSS
for having me.
also, yeah, and uh, we'll keep at it. I don't think there'll be. You know what? I said that last night that I didn't think that there were going to be any more videos and that we would just wait until Tuesday. But I was wrong. Mary proved me wrong. James has been keeping to his LolCow pen because he doesn't have the data to bust out of the LolCow pen right now.
He's just chilling in the barn because he's got nowhere to go.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, and wait till he re-ups on his data plan. Every video, he's gonna burn through his data plan in a day. I guarantee it. It's gonna be funny.
I think YouTube has a 15 video per 24-hour limit, and he's gonna hit that so fast on Saturday.
Oh, I only make one video, during a live stream. And I made that one portrait mode video just to taunt James with. James, it's all about learning how to tone it down and not make videos all the time. So, Maureen, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll see y'all maybe tomorrow. I think we will be here tomorrow. But it'll be tomorrow afternoon, probably about 3 p.m. Eastern.